Greetings, most dear, wonderful, beautiful, powerful, divine being that you are. Absolutely. There are no words to describe. But we use those words that we do have the best of our ability to help us to know the absolute truth that is victorious over all falsehood. My topic is the cause and elimination of suffering. The cause and the elimination of suffering. You see, so much out there that's for sale is constantly you're going to avoid suffering. You're going to buy all this makeup and stuff that you animal tested, of course, and all these things that we do. We have to, if we're going to use it, we got to use it what's nice, But so that you look better, so that you don't suffer, because you'll be loved. And then these clothes, you got to have these because you've got to be with it, because if you're not with it, you're out of it. And if you're out of it, it means you're not good enough. You're not good enough. You're going to suffer. You're going to feel bad for yourself because you won't have what you want. Nobody. Then you got to, you have to have the automobile that's proper. You got to have the house. You got to have this. You got all the apartments. You got to go here. All of this that is always telling us, if you get this, you won't suffer. All the medications, all the prescriptions, all the pain. Look how much pain pills, all of this stuff is that when you get this, then you won't suffer anymore. It'll finally be it's that carrot in front of the donkey, but the donkey never gets it. It's almost there. It's this almost there consciousness. I had worked with this one man for quite a while, and he could never seem to want to give up the thing. I said, if you detach from these women and you detach from this job, and because he's torturing himself in the mind. What if I lose this? My job, always on the edge, always right at the edge of the brink of complete disaster all the time. And I said, if you just let go of all this, then you'll be happy and you'll feel centered and you'll know what to do. He thought being detachment that you'd lose it, that you wouldn't have it. And no matter how much you hold on to something, eventually it's going to release out of your hand. And so what happens is, so many people are so interested in longevity, or how they're going to perpetuate the physical body or make it mechanical and physical, so their consciousness lives on in this. What a limitation. I'm telling you, that's eternal damnation of the grossest, densest kind. And that's complete lack of knowing and awareness of who we are. And see, the mind does not know who we are. It tries to copy and it knows all about you, knows your weaknesses, and it knows what's going to get you and get you back sucked into guilt and fear and doubt. And all of you take a look at how that mind is operating. So when you want to know the cause of suffering, first of all, it's this, and this is presented in ancient teachings and wisdom, and you'll find this as a commonality. Misidentifying yourselves as a physical body that is born and dies, that rots and dies, you see, and is subject to disease and to the elements, and is exploited or drained or brutalized or tortured or physically abused in grotesque ways, and all of these kind of things. Really, this kind of a reality, this kind of a thing, and the suffering goes on, is because you believe you are this limited physical body. And the solution is to know who you are as a divine being and to activate yourself. Not running after 5 cents gratification not running after everything you're told, that when you get this, you won't be afraid anymore. When you get this pill now, you won't have those bad memories, because we'll take all the memories and all that. And you really get, that blah, 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 blah. Because if you are what you're remembering, that is not who you are. You're beyond memories. You're beyond the past or the future, which do not exist except in the mind as that state. So when you misidentify yourself as a physical body, then you're also into how can I prevent future pain and suffering, and then lament the past, what I could have, should have, or would have done. And then you draw up all of the yucky things that we've done through whoever knows whatever we have. That was never us. Because when the mind started to get active, when we started to play the mind game somehow, or agree with that, or to do the thinking or create somehow another reality other than the pure divine, then the troubles all start, because it's a falsehood. All falsehoods have a beginning, a middle, and an end. They're called creations. The painting is not the artist, you see. The singer is not the song in that sense. And then when you get people singing the blues all the time, their lives are the blues. They're in that emotion, in that suffering, and the pains of love. So I'll never love again. And no, so much of that's just fear and loss and self-pity and sorrow. I know when I made, different men in my life God, they weren't. But I thought, well, they were, because I felt so good around them, or I loved them, or that I had dreams or fantasies. And you really get that everybody is operating this way. Their mind, that's why I'm talking to you, and you know how the mind operates. And then as you know who you are, the solution, the cure, the cause and the cure for this pain and suffering and self-hatred and self-policing and struggles and war and all, is to believe that you are the game, to believe you are the body, to believe you are the relationships, believe that's all your identity. And it's this reality over and over in the movies. If I could only do it again, because this is, and I'll come back and back to the old house, and it'll be the same, and over and over and over and over again, because there's some there's some morsels of pleasure here and there. But when you really want to get into the source of real pleasure, it's your soul. Love of God, or the divine with you, your beloved partner, is pleasure for you as a spirit soul. And they say, well, pain and pleasure, that's all in that game. Yes, but there is divine pleasure of the soul, because you are the pleasure state. You are the pleasure of the divine. And it's not that you're the enjoyer. You are the enjoyed, in a sense. That it's a reciprocal relationship. So eliminate the cause of suffering and have the cure, the solution. Start identifying with yourself and the personality of God, the divine personhood of the divine, the qualities of love and compassion. This is beyond lust. This is beyond hatred. Fear is not the opposite of love. That's ridiculous. You read all these different things. No. Love absolutely has no opposite. That's degrading the divine to the level of the mundane. Yes. Called dumbing down, to actually accept and believe that you are this physical body, and all that you own, and all that you have, and all that you've earned, all your identity, and all the memories of mom and dad, and this and that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that, on and on, over and over, with monotonous regularity. So let us step into the pleasure zone, where you're not defining yourself by your memories. You're not defining yourself by your earth people, by your so-called status, by your money, by your things, by the body, it's all the source of suffering. And when you finally get that, and you realize you really are a pleasure seeker, where's the real pleasure? And you don't enter into those situations that are not harmonious with your true inner being and who you really are. And that's where it's at. It isn't say, well, one day it'll change. There is no one day. It's only now. And that is a commitment you make to yourself, above and beyond anything or anyone else, to really be and know and actually is who you really are.